the distractions, put the phone down, because what I'm about to tell you might just be the most important thing you hear all year. It might be the very thing that shatters the invisible cage you've been living in. We need to talk about why you're not getting the respect you crave, why the relationships you want feel just out of reach, why you feel like you're doing everything right, but it's all going wrong. And the answer is a brutal, uncomfortable truth. It's because you've been taught a lie that tells you the path to a woman's heart, the path to earning respect, is to be the nice guy. Now, let me be absolutely clear. This is not a speech about being a jerk. It's not about abandoning kindness or decency or compassion. If you take that from this, you've missed the entire point. Those are pillars of a good man, and you should always be those things. What I'm talking about is the performance of nice, the suffocating, weak, and ultimately dishonest strategy of being overly nice. I'm talking about the man who is so terrified of causing a ripple, so desperate for approval, that he sands down every edge of his personality until he is nothing but a smooth, agreeable, and utterly forgettable pebble. You think being the yes man is your ticket? You think that if you just agree with everything she says, cater to her every whim, and put her on a pedestal so high she gets altitude sickness, she'll finally see your worth? Let me tell you something, man to man. She doesn't see your worth. She can't, because you aren't showing it to her. What she sees is a man with no spine, a man with no personal convictions, a man who is so afraid of losing her that he's already lost himself. And that is not attractive. It's not respectable. It's sad. Women, strong women, the kind of women you actually want, they don't want a doormat. They don't want a puppy dog who follows them around, desperate for a pat on the head. They want a man who has his own thoughts, his own ambitions, his own life, a man who isn't afraid to challenge her, to disagree with her, to have boundaries, a man who can stand on his own 2 feet and say, this is who I am, this is where I am going, and I would love for you to join me. You see the difference? It's the difference between chasing and attracting, between begging for respect and commanding it without saying a word. If you're tired of feeling invisible, if you're tired of being the reliable friend, but never the desired partner, if you're ready to stop being a nice guy and start being a good man, a strong man, a real man, then stay with me, because we are about to tear down the old programming and rebuild you from the foundation up into the man you were always meant to be. This is your wake-up call. Don't hit snooze, the prison of overcompensation. Let's dig into this impulse to overcompensate. Where does it even come from? It's a poison we drink, thinking it will make someone else love us, but it only eats away at our own soul. Overcompensating is the act of constantly trying to prove your worth because deep down, you don't believe you have any. It's the voice in your head that says, I'm not handsome enough, so I have to be the funniest guy in the room. Or, I'm not successful enough, so I have to be the most agreeable. Or the big one. I'm not inherently worthy of her love, so I have to earn it through acts of service and constant validation. It's a silent contract you write in your mind. The covert contract. It reads something like this. If I am nice enough, if I listen to all her problems, if I buy her things, if I'm always available, then she will owe me her affection, her respect, her love. But here's the kicker. She never signed that contract. She never even saw it. It's a deal you made with yourself, and you're the only one holding yourself to it. And what happens when she inevitably doesn't hold up her end of a bargain she never made? What happens when she goes for the guy who is a little more edgy, a little more challenging, a little less available? You feel that bitterness creep in, don't you? That resentment. After everything I did for her, you think. This is the thanks I get? You've just become the poster child for the nice guy syndrome. You weren't being genuinely kind. You were being transactional. You were giving to get, and that energy reeks of desperation. People can feel it a mile away. This behavior turns you into an emotional accountant, constantly tracking your good deeds and wondering why your balance is still at zero. It leaves you exhausted, resentful, and with a sense of self-worth that is completely dependent on something outside of your control, someone else's approval. Think about the freedom in letting that go, the sheer power in realizing you don't have to jump through hoops to be worthy of love and respect. You just have to be. When you stop overcompensating, you stop trying to fill a void in someone else, and you start filling your own. You stop living a life scripted by others, and you start writing your own damn story. You give yourself space to breathe, to grow, to become the man you were meant to be, not the tailored, watered-down version you thought you needed to be. Every time you go out of your way to please someone at the expense of your own needs, your own time, your own peace, you send a message to the deepest part of your being. The message is, you are not important. Your needs don't matter. And if you don't believe your needs matter, why in the hell would anyone else? This isn't about becoming selfish, it's about becoming self-full. It's about understanding that your well-being is just as sacred as anyone else's. It's the difference between being a candle that lets everyone take its flame until it's gone, and being a bonfire that people are drawn to for warmth, but which no one can extinguish. You have to protect your flame. Letting go of this need to overcompensate is the first most crucial step in reclaiming your personal power. It's terrifying, yes, because it means you have to stand on your own, without the crutch of constant approval seeking. But let me tell you, once you stand on your own, you'll realize you're standing on solid ground for the first time in your life. Radical self-respect, the unbreakable foundation. You hear the phrase, respect yourself first, and you probably nod along. Yeah, I get it. But do you? Do you really get it? Or is it just a nice platitude you skim over? Because if you truly understood it, if you truly embodied it, your life would look dramatically different. Radical self-respect is not arrogance. Arrogance is a loud, noisy attempt to convince others of your value. Self-respect is a quiet, unshakable knowing of your own value. It needs no announcement. It is felt. It starts with this simple, revolutionary idea. Your time, your energy, your attention, and your peace are the most valuable currencies you own. They are not renewable resources you can just hand out like free samples at a supermarket. They are finite, precious, and you need to start treating them as such. This is where boundaries come in. And for so many men, boundary is a four-letter word. It feels harsh. It feels confrontational. It feels not nice. Good. It's not supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be strong. A boundary is you, loving yourself enough to say, no. No, I can't talk on the phone for 2 hours tonight. I have to work on my project. No, I'm not okay with you canceling on me at the last minute again. My time is valuable. No, I'm not going to change my opinion on this just to make you happy. Every time you set and enforce a boundary, you are teaching people how to treat you. More importantly, you are teaching yourself what you will and will not accept. You are building your own internal frame. When you have no boundaries, you are telling the world, my needs don't matter. Walk all over me. Take what you want. And the world will gladly oblige. Think about it. The guy who is always available, who answers every text in 3 seconds, who drops everything for a woman he barely knows. What does that communicate about his own life? It communicates that he has nothing else going on, that she is the center of his universe. And while that might sound romantic in a movie, in real life, it's suffocating. It puts an immense amount of pressure on her to be his source of happiness. And that is a job no one wants. A man with self-respect has a life. He has a mission. He has hobbies. He has friends. He has things he is passionate about that have nothing to do with a woman. His life is a rich, full, exciting picture, and he is inviting her to come and be a part of it. Not to be the picture. When you respect yourself, you stop chasing. The energy shifts. You're no longer the hunter, desperately trying to trap a butterfly. You become the garden, and the butterflies come to you. Why? Because you've cultivated something beautiful, something valuable, something real. This is not a game. This is not a technique. This is a fundamental shift in your operating system. It's moving your sense of self-worth from her hands back into your own. And when your happiness is no longer contingent on her validation, a funny thing happens. You become infinitely more attractive, because a man who doesn't need her approval is a man who is free. And freedom, my friend, is the most magnetic quality on the planet. Start today. Identify one area where you've been letting your boundaries slide. One place where you've been saying yes when you wanted to say no, and change it. Just one small act of self-respect. It will feel like an earthquake in your soul, and it will be the beginning of everything. The unmistakable power of raw authenticity. Once you've built that foundation of self-respect, you've earned the right to be authentic. Before that, be yourself is terrible advice, because yourself is a people-pleasing doormat. But now that you respect your own time and energy, being yourself becomes your superpower. Authenticity is the courage to show up as you are, without a mask, without a filter, without apology. It's saying to the world, this is me, my passions, my quirks, my ambitions, my flaws. Take it or leave it. I'm good, either way. Why is this so powerful? Because in a world of copies, an original is priceless. We are surrounded by people curating their lives for Instagram, pretending to be happy, pretending to have it all figured out. It's exhausting and it's fake. When someone has the raw courage to be genuinely, unapologetically themselves, it's like a breath of fresh mountain air. It's intoxicating. Being authentic creates something called polarity. Think of it like two magnets. If you put two positive ends together, they repel. There's no spark, no tension. This is what happens when you're the nice guy. You try to be so agreeable, so similar to her, that you become the same magnetic pole. There's no attraction. Masculine and feminine energies are, by nature, opposite poles. They are different, and in that difference lies the spark, the tension, the attraction. When you stand firm in your authentic masculine frame, meaning your values, your purpose, your direction, you create that powerful, attractive polarity. You're not trying to be her best girlfriend. You are presenting a different, compelling energy. This means sharing your real opinions. It means talking about the things that light you up, whether it's your business, your art, your fitness goals, or your love for rebuilding classic cars. Don't try to guess what she wants to hear. Show her what makes you, you. A woman doesn't fall in love with a man's interests. She falls in love with his passion for his interests. And part of authenticity is masculine vulnerability. This isn't about crying on her shoulder about all your problems on the first date. That's just dumping your emotional baggage. Masculine vulnerability is the strength to be imperfect. It's the confidence to admit when you're wrong. It's the courage to say, I'm working on this part of myself, or this is something I'm striving for. It shows you're a human being on a journey, not a robot programmed to be perfect. The most crucial element of this authentic life is having a mission, a purpose, a reason for getting out of bed in the morning that is bigger than chasing women. When a woman meets a man who is passionately dedicated to his purpose, whether it's building a company, creating art, serving his community, or just becoming the best version of himself, she knows he is not looking to her to complete him. He is already whole. He is on a quest, and he is inviting her to be his cherished partner on that grand adventure. That is infinitely more compelling than the man whose entire purpose is to find a girlfriend. So stop pretending, stop hiding, stop playing a character, the real you, the authentic you, the you that respects himself and is on a mission. That is the man who is deeply, powerfully, and irresistibly attractive. Dig deep. What is your mission? What is your purpose? Start living for that, and the right people will be drawn to your fire. It is an absolute law of the universe. The lost art of the challenge, embracing healthy conflict. Let's talk about the thing that nice guys fear more than anything else: conflict, disagreement, tension, the possibility that someone might not like what you have to say. You've been conditioned to believe that harmony at all costs is the goal. You think a smooth sea makes for a good relationship. But a smooth sea is a stagnant sea. There's no movement, no energy, no life. Healthy conflict is not about fighting. It's not about anger or disrespect. Healthy conflict is the friction that creates a spark. It's the dance of two strong individuals who are not afraid to have their own minds. It's where deep intimacy and respect are forged. I want you to embrace the idea of being a challenger. This doesn't mean being argumentative or contrarian. It means being engaged. It means you're not just passively absorbing what she says and nodding along. You are actively listening, processing, and offering your own perspective. It can be playful. She says, "This is the best band ever." The nice guy says, "Oh yeah, they're totally the best." The challenger says with a smirk, "The best? That's a bold claim. You're going to have to defend that position. I'm not convinced." You see the difference? The first one is boring. It kills the conversation. The second one is fun. It's a challenge. It invites banter. It shows you have a personality, that you're not just a mirror. It shows confidence. Being a challenger also means having the courage to call her out respectfully when her actions don't align with her words. If she says she values honesty, but then acts in a way that isn't straightforward, a man with a strong frame doesn't just ignore it to keep the peace. He might say, "Hey, I'm feeling a bit of a disconnect here. You said X, but it feels like Y is happening. Can we talk about that? This is terrifying for the people pleaser. It feels like you're risking everything." But what you're actually doing is demonstrating that you value respect and honesty above simply keeping things pleasant. You are showing that you are a man of substance. You are showing leadership. You are proving you are a safe harbor for a real relationship because you're not afraid to navigate stormy waters. Women do not want a man they can walk all over. They might think they do on a surface level, but they will never respect him. They want a man who is her rock, but also her sparring partner. Someone who can stand with her and at times stand up to her, not out of malice, but out of a deep sense of his own integrity. When you avoid all conflict, you're not creating peace, you're creating distance. You're building a relationship on a fragile foundation of unsaid things and hidden resentments. But when you learn to embrace healthy challenges, to stand your ground with a calm confidence, you create a dynamic of passion, growth, and profound unshakable respect. Stop being afraid to rock the boat. Sometimes you need to rock the boat to see who is willing to row with you and who is ready to jump overboard at the first sign of a wave. The ones who are willing to row, they're the keepers. Your path to power begins now. We've covered a lot of ground. We've torn down the facade of the nice guy. We've laid the unbreakable foundation of radical self-respect. We've unleashed the magnetic power of authenticity, and we've reclaimed the lost art of the challenge. This is not a checklist. It is a transformation, and it will not be easy. It will require you to step into discomfort daily. It will require you to face your deepest fears, the fear of rejection, the fear of conflict, the fear of not being liked. Embracing this path means you will disappoint some people. You will lose people from your life who were only there because you were easy to control or take from. Let them go. Their departure is not a loss. It is a purification. It is making space for the people who will respect the real you, the strong you. The journey from a people pleaser to a man of integrity is the most important journey you will ever take. It is the journey from boyhood to manhood. It's about so much more than dating. It's about building a life of purpose. A life where you are in the driver's seat, a life that you are proud of. When you live this way, attraction is no longer something you have to chase. It becomes a byproduct of who you are. Respect is no longer something you have to beg for. It is a natural consequence of how you carry yourself. So I'm leaving you with a choice. You can click away from this video and go back to the comfortable, predictable, and frustrating life of seeking validation. You can continue being the nice guy, wondering why you always finish last, or you can make a decision right now. You can decide that you are done living for the approval of others. You can decide that your own respect is the only respect that truly matters. You can decide to step into the fire of discomfort and forge yourself into the man you were born to be. The world doesn't need more nice guys. It is drowning in them. The world needs more good men, more strong men, men who are bold enough to be authentic, brave enough to have boundaries, and confident enough to lead. Your future is not written. It is yours to define. The life you dream of, the respect you crave, the love you deserve, it's all waiting for you. It's on the other side of your fear. Now go out there and build it. The work starts today. The currency of indifference. Mastering outcome independence. All right, let's go deeper. Because even if you build your self-respect, even if you're authentic, there's a final master level piece of this puzzle that can hold you back. It's the subtle, insidious poison of neediness. And the antidote is what I call the currency of indifference. This might be the most misunderstood concept we'll talk about. Indifference is not about being cold. It's not about being aloof or playing games. It's not about pretending you don't care. Pretending is just another mask. And we are done with masks. True, powerful indifference is a genuine, deep-seated detachment from the outcome. It is the unwavering belief that you will be completely okay, whether she says yes or no, whether you get the job or you don't, whether they approve of you or they don't. It is the ultimate source of inner peace and the ultimate projection of confidence. Why? Because neediness is the #1 attraction killer on the planet, bar none. Neediness is a giant, flashing neon sign that screams, "I have a hole in my life and I need you to fill it." It makes the other person feel responsible for your happiness. It's suffocating. It's a weight. And people will run from that weight as fast as they can. The man who is attached to the outcome is constantly on edge. He's analyzing every word, every text, every facial expression. He's living in a state of anxiety, trying to say and do the perfect thing to achieve his desired result. His inner monologue is, "I hope she likes me. I hope this works out. I need this to work out." He is auditioning. He has given all his power away. The man who has mastered outcome independence has a different monologue. It is, "I am here to express myself authentically. I am here to see if this person is a good fit for my life, for my values, for my peace. I am excited to see what happens. But my well-being does not depend on it." Do you feel the monumental shift in power? He is not auditioning. He is the one holding the audition. So how do we cultivate this? It's not a switch you flip. It's a muscle you build. First, you must embrace an abundance mentality. The needy man operates from a scarcity mindset. He believes this one person is his only shot at happiness. This one opportunity is the last train leaving the station. This is a lie your fear tells you. The world is vast and filled with billions of amazing, beautiful, intelligent people. It is filled with endless opportunities. When you truly believe that, you stop clinging so tightly to one single person or outcome. You loosen your grip. You can be present and enjoy the interaction for what it is, without the crushing pressure of it having to be the one. An abundance mentality says, "This would be great, but if not, something or someone else equally great or even better is out there." Second, you must learn to derive satisfaction from the action, not the reaction. Your reward is not her saying yes. Your reward is the fact that you had the courage to act. Your victory is in the moment you walked up to her, the moment you spoke your truth, the moment you set your boundary. You must become your own source of validation. You pat yourself on the back for being brave, regardless of the result. When you do this, you become unstoppable. You can't lose. If she says yes, you win. If she says no, you still win. Because you honored yourself by taking a risk and you learned something. You are playing a game where you literally cannot lose. Third, you have to build a life that you genuinely love. A life that is so fulfilling, so rich with purpose and passion, that a relationship is simply the cherry on top, not the whole sundae. When you have a great social circle, a mission that excites you, hobbies that fulfill you, you simply don't have time to obsess over one person. Your emotional eggs are not all in one basket. You are not looking for a woman to be your entertainment. You are the entertainment. You are the prize. This is the ultimate source of genuine, non-needy energy. You are not trying to get something from her. You are offering to share your amazing life with her. This detachment is not a tactic. It is a state of being. It is the quiet confidence of a man who knows his worth is non-negotiable. He engages with the world with an open heart and a playful spirit, but with a core of steel that knows he is and always will be enough on his own. That, my friends, is a freedom that no one can ever take from you, and it is a freedom that is powerfully, irresistibly attractive. Forging the physical vessel, the unspoken language of strength. Now, we've been deep in the realm of the mind, of psychology, of energy, and that is the engine of your transformation. But an engine needs a chassis. It needs a physical form. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot become this powerful, grounded man we're talking about if you neglect the physical vessel you inhabit. Your body is not just a meat suit that carries your brain around. Ignoring your physical health while trying to build mental strength is like trying to build a skyscraper on a foundation of mud. It will collapse. All the positive thinking in the world won't save you if your physiology is working against you. So let's get practical. Let's talk about forging your body into a weapon of discipline and an undeniable statement of self-respect. This isn't about looking like a fitness model for vanity's sake. This is about what the process of forging your body does to your soul. First, let's talk about the iron, the gym. Lifting heavy, difficult things is a direct metaphor for life. There are days you do not want to go. There are lifts that feel impossible. It is you against your own weakness, your own excuses, and every time you show up, every time you push through that last gut-wrenching rep, you are literally rewiring your brain. You are teaching yourself on a primal cellular level how to embrace discomfort. You are proving to yourself that you can do hard things. This isn't just psychological, it's biological. Pushing your muscles to their limits boosts testosterone. It releases endorphins. It literally changes your hormonal profile from that of a stressed, passive man to that of a capable, dominant one. It changes how you stand. It broadens your shoulders, straightens your spine. You start to physically take up more space in the world, not out of arrogance, but out of a quiet, earned confidence. People notice, before you even say a word, your posture, your presence speaks for you. It says, this is a man who is disciplined. This is a man who is not afraid of hard work. Second, you are what you eat. You cannot fuel a high-performance engine with garbage. If you are living on processed junk, sugary drinks, and fast food, you are actively sabotaging your mental state. You are creating brain fog, lethargy, anxiety, and depression. You are putting out your own fire. Taking command of your nutrition is a radical act of self-respect. It is you saying, my body is my temple, not my trash can. I deserve to feel energetic. I deserve to have a clear mind. It takes discipline. It requires planning. It means choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. Sound familiar? It's the exact same muscle you use to set boundaries or walk away from a situation that doesn't serve you. You build the muscle in the kitchen. You can use it in your relationships. It is all connected. Add to this the foundation of sleep. Sacrificing sleep isn't a badge of honor. It's a mark of foolishness. Sleep is where you rebuild. It's where your mind and body heal. To neglect it is to willingly choose to operate at 50% capacity. A king does not run his kingdom on half power. Prioritize your sleep like the weapon it is. Third, let's talk about your armor, your style, your grooming. Again, this is not vanity. This is about sending a signal to yourself and to the world that you care, that you have standards. Showing up with wrinkled clothes, a bad haircut, and smelling like you just rolled out of bed sends a clear message. I don't value myself enough to put in the effort. You don't need expensive designer clothes. You need clothes that fit. You need to understand what looks good on your body type. You need to present a clean, put-together image. Getting a sharp haircut, taking care of your skin, wearing a scent that makes you feel good. These are not trivial things. They are part of your daily ritual of self-respect. It's like a warrior putting on his armor before battle. When you know you look good, you feel a different level of confidence. You walk taller. You make better eye contact. You are signaling to the world that you are a man who pays attention to the details. And if you pay attention to the details on your own person, it implies you pay attention to the details in every other area of your life. Your physical presence is the cover of your book. It is the first chapter people read before they even hear your voice. Make sure it tells a story of strength, discipline, and unapologetic self-respect. When your mind, your body, and your spirit are all aligned and forged in the fires of discipline, you don't just become attractive, you become a force of nature. The unspoken symphony, mastering conversation, and subcommunication. So, you've started forging your body. You've started building your mind. You are laying the foundation of a king. But now, you must learn to speak the language of the kingdom. And I don't just mean the words you use. I mean the vast, powerful, unspoken symphony that plays underneath every single interaction you have. This is the world of subcommunication. This is where the rubber truly meets the road. Because you can have the mindset of a warrior and the body of a god. But if your communication is weak, you leak insecurity and undo all your hard work. The truth is, what you say is a tiny fraction of the message you send. It's the appetizer. The main course, the part that people truly feel and respond to, is how you say it. It's the rhythm, the tone, the energy that broadcasts your true inner state. The nice guy focuses only on the words. He obsesses over finding the perfect thing to say. He rehearses lines. He's terrified of saying the wrong thing. The confident, grounded man understands that the words are secondary. He could talk about the most boring topic imaginable. the history of shoelaces, and make it compelling because his delivery is compelling. He communicates confidence not through his vocabulary, but through his very being. Let's break down this symphony. First, your voice. Your voice is an instrument. Are you playing it like a broken kazoo or a Stradivarius violin? Most nervous men speak from their head and nose. It's thin, it's reedy, it lacks authority. A confident man speaks from his chest, from his diaphragm. It's a deeper, more resonant tone. It vibrates. It has gravity. Practice this. Literally put your hand on your chest and feel the vibration as you speak. Slow down. The man who is nervous rushes his words. He's afraid of silence, afraid of losing the other person's attention. He speeds up, creating more anxiety. The man who is sure of himself is not afraid of the pause. He uses silence as a tool. A pause before answering a question shows you are considering it. A pause after making a statement gives it weight and allows it to land. Own the silence. It communicates that you are comfortable, that you are in control of the frame. And watch your inflection. End your statements with a downward tone like a period. I think this is a great place, period. The nice guy ends his statements with an upward inflection like a question. I think this is a great place. It reeks of seeking approval. It turns a statement of fact into a plea for validation. Command your voice, and you command the conversation. Second, your eyes. Your eyes are the windows to your soul. And if you can't hold eye contact, you are telling the world you are either intimidated, ashamed, or dishonest. You must learn to master your gaze. This isn't about a creepy, unblinking stare. It's about a relaxed, warm, confident connection. When someone is speaking, give them your full attention. Look them in the eye. When you are speaking, it's natural to look away briefly as you gather your thoughts, but always bring your gaze back to connect with them. Don't look down. That signals submission. Look to the side. When you're building rapport or flirting, you can use what's called the triangular gaze. You look from one of their eyes to the other, then briefly down to their mouth, and back up to their eyes. It's a subtle, subconscious way of shifting the vibe from purely platonic to something more intimate. It's powerful. Practice holding your gaze with strangers you pass on the street. Just a brief, confident look and a nod. It will feel incredibly uncomfortable at first. Good. That's the feeling of growth. Third, your body. Your body is constantly shouting your inner state. Are you hunched over, arms crossed, making yourself small? That's a closed, protective posture. It screams, I'm nervous. Or are your shoulders back, your chest open, your arms relaxed at your sides? Are you taking up space? An open posture is inviting and confident. Eliminate nervous fidgeting. Stop tapping your foot, playing with your keys, or shaking your leg. These are all ways your body tries to release nervous energy. Learn to be still. Stillness is power. Move with purpose. When you reach for your drink, do it deliberately. When you walk across a room, do it with a destination in mind, not a frantic, hurried shuffle. Your physical movements should be calm, controlled, and intentional. This sub-communicates a mind that is also calm, controlled, and intentional. Now for the words themselves, stop interviewing people. Where are you from? What do you do? How many siblings do you have? Now, this is a boring interrogation. It puts all the pressure on them to perform. Instead, learn to make statements and tell stories. Instead of where are you from, try making a playful observation. You don't seem like you're from around here. You have a bit of a wanderer's vibe. This is infinitely more interesting. It invites a story, not a one-word answer. And when you talk, don't just state facts. Evoke emotion. Instead of saying, I went on a hike, describe the feeling, I was on this incredible hike last weekend, and after this brutal climb, I got to the top just as the sun was setting. For a moment, it was so quiet and peaceful, it felt like I was the only person on earth. You've just transported them into an emotional experience with you. That is how you build a real connection. Master this symphony of subcommunication, and you will no longer worry about what to say. Your very presence will do most of the talking for you. The long game, forging a legacy of masculine excellence. We need to zoom out, way out, because if your only motivation for all this, the gym, the boundaries, the discomfort, the work, is to get better with women, you will fail. You will, because it's a shallow motivation. It's still, at its core, about seeking external validation. The final piece of this transformation, the thing that will lock it all in and make it permanent, is to anchor it to a purpose so vast and so profound that your own personal successes become a secondary benefit. This is the shift from building yourself to building a legacy. This journey is not just about you. Let that sink in. This hard, grueling, and often lonely work of self-development is about becoming a man of such profound value that you become a pillar for your family, a leader in your community, and a force for good in the world. It's about becoming the rock that others can anchor to in a storm. Think about the concept of intergenerational impact. Many of us grew up without strong, grounded, masculine role models. We may have seen men who were passive, absent, angry, or weak. We are the products of those cycles, and right now, you stand at a crossroads. You have a choice. You can continue that cycle, passing down the same insecurities and dysfunctions to the next generation, or you can decide right here, right now, that the cycle breaks with you. You can choose to become a transitional character, a man who absorbs the pain and weakness of the past, and through the sheer force of his will and discipline, transforms it into strength and wisdom for the future. Your struggle is not just your own. You are fighting for your future children. You are fighting for the man your future partner deserves. You are fighting for the soul of your bloodline. Does that not give you a reason to get up and face the fire? This cannot be a solitary quest. The myth of the lone wolf is a lie that weak men tell themselves. Wolves are pack animals. The strongest men in history have always surrounded themselves with other strong men. You must find your brotherhood, a circle of men who are on the same path, men who will not coddle you or accept your excuses, men who will call you out when you're slipping, who will push you to be better, and who will have your back when you fall. If you don't have this circle, your mission is to build it. Seek out men you admire. Join groups, whether it's a martial arts dojo, a business mastermind, or a men's group, where excellence is the standard. Isolation is the enemy of growth. A brotherhood is the ultimate catalyst. And as you grow, your responsibility shifts. You move from student to mentor. You have a duty to reach back and help guide the younger men who are just starting on the path you've already walked. This is how we heal a generation. We don't just hoard the wisdom we've earned through our scars. We share it. In teaching others, you solidify your own understanding and cement your own identity as a leader. Finally, you must codify your existence. You must move from vague intentions to a concrete philosophy. I challenge you to sit down with a pen and paper and write your personal code of conduct, your personal constitution. What are your non-negotiable values? What does integrity mean to you in practical terms? How will you treat others? How will you treat yourself? What standards will you hold yourself to even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching? This document becomes your North Star. When you are faced with a difficult decision, you don't have to guess. You consult your code. It is the ultimate expression of a self-defined man. He is not governed by the shifting opinions of society or the emotional whims of the moment. He is governed by his own consciously chosen principles. This is the long game. It's a lifelong commitment to excellence. It's a pursuit that has no finish line. The goal is not to one day arrive. The goal is to fall in love with the process of becoming, to find joy in the discipline, to find meaning in the struggle. When you anchor yourself to this higher purpose, your dating life, your career, your finances, they all fall into place as a natural consequence of the high-caliber man you have become. You stop chasing worldly success and instead you build a soul that commands it. That is the ultimate power. That is the legacy you were born to build.